In the early 19th century, Romanticism reigned supreme in the art world, celebrating dramatic emotion, landscapes, and heroic subjects. However, as this grand style flourished, a new voice emerged, one that aimed to strip away the embellishments and show life as it truly was, raw and unidealized. This voice became Realism, a movement that not only challenged the aesthetics of Romanticism, but its core values as well. Realism began as a direct response to Romanticism's excesses. While Romantics painted grand, emotional scenes of nature, history, and the human spirit, Realists turned their focus to the everyday, the ordinary, and often the grim realities of life. Emerging after the French Revolution, a time of significant social and political change, Realism rejected the idealized depictions of history and mythology in favor of portraying modern life honestly. But what does it mean to show life truthfully? For Realists, it wasn't just about painting realistic images. It was about exposing the raw, unfiltered aspects of society. The poor, laborers, and the mundane tasks of daily life were placed at the forefront, not to be glorified or ignored, but to demand attention. Realism wasn't about sugarcoating life. It was about confronting it. Realist artists sought to expose truths, even the uncomfortable ones, creating a movement that was grounded in authenticity. Realism stood apart because it depicted life as it truly was, often harsh, unpolished, and undeniably real. The attention to detail became a hallmark of the movement, with artists carefully capturing textures, light, and shadows to create almost palpable scenes. Whether portraying the weathered skin of laborers or humble interiors, every detail was meticulously rendered, reflecting not only the physical truth, but also the emotional depth of their subjects. Moreover, Realism was socially conscious. While earlier artists often focused on aristocrats or historical grandeur, Realists gave the working class and the marginalized their due. These subjects weren't pitied or idealized but presented as individuals deserving recognition. By focusing on the ordinary and sometimes uncomfortable realities, Realist artists invited viewers to reconsider how they viewed society's flaws and struggles. Realism wasn't just about art, it was about provoking thought and challenging perceptions. It served as a mirror to society, urging people to confront the truth, particularly about the lives of the less fortunate. As a movement, it laid the groundwork for a revolution in both art and the way we view the world. Another pivotal figure in the Realist movement was Jean-François Millet, whose painting The Gleaners, 1857, beautifully captured three peasant women collecting leftover grains in a field. Millet's focus on rural labor and his respectful portrayal of the working class set him apart from artists who favored aristocratic subjects. He didn't just depict a simple task, he highlighted the dignity in it. Despite the humble nature of their work, the women in Millet's painting are shown with grace, elevating a once overlooked subject into something profound. Then there was Honoré Daumier, a master of lithographs and paintings. Daumier's works often combined empathy for the poor with sharp social critique. His painting The Third-Class Carriage, 1862, depicts a crowded train car filled with working-class passengers, their tired expressions reflecting the struggles of daily life. The piece is a poignant commentary on the growing divide between the elite and the working class. Daumier's work wasn't just about documenting, it was about making a statement, showing the grimness of life for the marginalized while also urging the viewer to confront these societal injustices. Lastly, Edouard Manet, although often associated with Impressionism, made a lasting contribution to Realism with his provocative painting Olympia, 1863. Unlike the idealized nudes of the past, Olympia presented a direct, defiant figure, challenging conventional ideas of female beauty and passivity. Manet's portrayal of a nude woman looking directly at the viewer broke with tradition, adding a confrontational edge to the realism of the time. It was a bold move that reshaped how art could portray the human body and human relationships. These artists didn't just document society, they challenged it. Their work gave voice to the overlooked and the marginalized, shining a light on the struggles and realities of life that had long been ignored in art. Through their raw and powerful depictions, they forced viewers to reckon with the uncomfortable truths of their time. The legacy of these artists and their work is undeniable. Paintings like The Stone Breakers, 1849, by Gustave Courbet, The Gleaners, 1857, by Millet, and The Third-Class Carriage, 1862, by Daumier weren't just artistic achievements. They were revolutionary statements that transformed the way we see the world and the role art can play in reflecting society. Another pivotal work in the evolution of realism was Honoré Daumier's Olympia, 1863. While not strictly a realist painting, Olympia embodied the movement's raw, unflinching approach to reality. The nude figure of Olympia, reclining with her direct and defiant gaze, challenged not only the viewer but also the traditional conventions of art. Unlike the passive, idealized nudes of classical art, Olympia's unapologetic presence suggested a grounded, realistic portrayal of female identity. This was a dramatic shift, emphasizing realism over romanticism and offering a new lens through which to view female sexuality and power. Each of these works, from Gustave Courbet's The Stonebreakers to Jean-François Millet's The Gleaners, was revolutionary. They didn't just depict the world, they confronted it, forcing viewers to face uncomfortable truths. Realist artists understood that art had the potential to influence society, and they used this power to challenge the norms of their time. The impact of realism didn't fade after the 19th century. Its core ethos, an unflinching pursuit of truth, continued to echo throughout the art world. In the 20th century, movements like social realism and photorealism built on the foundations laid by realism. Artists such as Ben Shahn and Diego Rivera in the social realist movement applied realism's focus on everyday life to address pressing social issues like poverty and inequality. They used art not just for aesthetic value but as a means of sparking social change, much like Courbet and Daumier had done decades earlier. In the 1960s, photorealism emerged, with artists like Chuck Close and Richard Estes capturing photographic accuracy in their paintings. This modern offshoot of realism extended the movement's emphasis on precision, showing the modern world with the same meticulous attention to detail that Courbet had shown laborers in the 19th century. Photorealism, like earlier forms of realism, was rooted in the idea of capturing life exactly as it was, no gloss, no idealization. Even today, realism's influence is felt in contemporary art, photography, and photojournalism. The commitment to portraying life's raw moments and difficult truths continues to be a tool for artists seeking to communicate with their audience on a visceral level. In an era where reality and fiction often blur, realism's insistence on truth, no matter how uncomfortable, feels more essential than ever. Realism in art may have started as a challenge to the established norms, but its impact is undeniable. Through artists like Gustave Courbet, Jean-François Millet, and Honoré Daumier, realism became a movement that changed not only art, but society's relationship with it. These artists showed us the truth behind the scenes of everyday life, revealing the dignity in labor, the harshness of poverty, and the rawness of human experience. The realist legacy still reverberates in the art we see today. It compels us to confront the truths of the world around us, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. And this focus on truth is what keeps realism as relevant now as it was back in the 19th century. If you enjoyed exploring the world of realism and want to learn more about how it shaped the course of art history, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with others who are interested in how art can challenge the way we see the world. Stay tuned for more in-depth explorations into the movements that have shaped our culture and the art that tells our story.